What is going on, people? We are live. It is time. We are here for UFC 316. I got my two co-hosts with me, my man Jake and my new bud Chris. We are here to break down everything that's supposed to be happening tonight, amongst some other news as well. So let's get into it, man. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Chilling, visited the folks. Everything's good. I'm excited. There's a ton of sports going on. I watched the truck race earlier, and I got UFC and WWE tonight. There's just tons of good stuff going on tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds like a plan. I can't wait to watch all these fights. And I think it's going to be a decent card. I don't think it's amazing, but it has potential. My favorite fighters going tonight for the championship, so I'm definitely excited for that. So
There's a lot of good fighters on this card.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Our first topic for the day is this year's Tough Series. How you feeling about it, Jake?
I am personally look. It's two guys I like and respect a lot. Chael Sonnen's the man. We all know about Uncle Chael and how I feel about him. I watch his podcast. I do everything that whatever he says is gold, in my opinion. And DC's been in the game forever. He's a former 2-division champion. He's also coached tough before. I think he's won the series himself. And so far from everything that I've seen these guys, because once they picked the guys and I got all their names, I went and did research on them. These are all guys that could go and fight in the Contender Series. I didn't get a chance to watch episode 2 yet, but I watched episode 1, and the fight was outstanding. It lasted one round, but the veteran, as a wily veteran, beat the current LFA flyweight champion in the first match. It was a good fight altogether. Chael's kind of doing an offhands approach to where he's bringing inside coaches, and he was like, you guys got here already. I'm here just to try to take you the next step over. I think I can overcoach you, which is what I'm not going to do. I'm just going to help you and pick your brain so you can ask me the question, and I'll tell you how I'd handle it. So I like the way Chael's coaching. He's doing his thing, and DC's already chirping and talking shit like he did back in the day. So I'm entertained by it so far. And I'd say if anyone's bored on Tuesday nights, tune in. It's good.
I wish so. Contender is the one where they actually the coaches end up fighting. I wish this was that, but they're both retired, so it'd be funny to see Chael and DC mix it up.
I know they're not. I would. That'd be interesting. And the thing is, at the end of Chael's career, he was fighting at heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So it could work. They're both high-level wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think that'll make them good coaches, though, you know. I mean, obviously they're both good coaches, or we already know that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing with Tough, though, is that normally there's high animosity between the coaches because at the end of the season, the coaches normally fight. And that's not happening with this season.
Yeah.
This season's strictly them coaching and doing their thing, so they're more not obviously Chael's not at the moment, but more hands-on with the coaching to make sure they're doing everything the way that they're supposed to be doing.
Who do you think would have won that in their prime, though?
I think DC would have ragdolled him.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Chael fan. I think Chael took Jon Jones to the limit before, but I just think DC's just too technical and too good.
Too damn strong. All right, yeah. So you said that comes on Tuesdays?
Yes, sir. Tuesdays, and I believe the episodes air at like 10 or 11 at night. But they picked a great crop of guys this season too. All these guys are actually because you know how we normally get like they'll bring in 2 fighters and they're obviously the better fighters in this entire show. Well, they brought in a bunch of guys that each fight, I think, legit. What's the word I'm thinking of? Where they stand in like progressions and where they are in their fight career, they're right there. Every guy has a chance of winning each fight. Some guy's skill level's not lower than the other.
They picked it's parity. They had pretty equal skill levels. That's good. that should make for a great series. It should make for some great fights in that series.
Do the coaches pick the fighters now?
Yeah. So they start off the episode 1. They flip a coin. Whoever wins the coin toss has the choice between making the first pick or picking the first fight. And every year since they've done that, anyone who wins the coin toss always takes the first pick.
Yeah, you want the best fighter.
Gotcha.
That you think is the best fighter there. Yeah.
But again, I'm not trying to ruin it for nobody. But episode 1, it was hilarious. It was with the flyweights. DC picked what he thought was the best flyweight, and Chael picked the one that's probably the best flyweight. And Chael didn't waste no time. He was like, first round's our top 2 picks. I'm not going to tell you who won, but I like what Chael did there, and it worked, and it was a great fight. It was an outstanding fight.
Nice. All right. Well, shout out to the Tough Series. Hopefully I'd love to get like the UFC desperately needs a superstar coming out of one of these shows or platforms, because that's something we can talk about a little later if you want. But the UFC is in a little bit of peril right now in terms of stardom and superstar. Like, they don't really have one. O'Malley, if he loses tonight, pretty much that train is over. He can still be a great fighter, but in terms of being the face of the league, it's going to be rough if he loses tonight. It's going to be tough to do. And that basically leaves Paddy the Baddy as the only other guy that you would probably have the face of your business, of your league. And yeah, I mean, I like what he's doing. Paddy's great, but does Paddy do we see greatness for a long span, or is he going to be a flash in the pan? We don't really know yet. His last fight says he's headed in the right direction for sure. But yeah.
In my opinion, I think they're building him right. I think they're not instant. This is like the whole thing that I thought was a problem. Like, my guy's got a fire alarm going off. You good? Just checking beforehand. Okay, cool. I was worried. There's a side story to that. I'm not telling nobody. They're not building them kind of like Bo Nickel. They're not Bo Nickel. There's someone that was going. It might have been Bo Nickel. They're trying to throw him to the Wolves and give him high-level opponents right away, and it's failing because they think they got a star. They're letting Paddy go through the progressions, build up slow, go against smaller competition. They try to hike it up by giving him King Green. He made quick work of that, made it look easy, and then they gave him an aged Chandler who's been waiting 2-3 years to fight somebody, and he's almost 40. But it was still decent to have to fight a guy like him, because I think he has Tony Ferguson on his resume now too. I think they fought. But now he's about to get a real test because he's going to go against someone in the top 5. And I do think it's possible for him to be the face, because he will no longer have to go through Islam. Will, if you didn't know this, Islam moved up to welterweight. So right now that title is vacant, and I think it's going to be Topuria and Oliveira going at it for that championship. And I think Paddy Pimblett versus Charles Oliveira would be insane. Other than that, Chris, do you think there's anybody that could possibly be a face? I know you're still like learning, trying to figure out who is in the who's in this thing. Do you see any stars coming up at the moment, or anyone that could take that torch?
I mean, I like a lot of the fighters on this card, to be honest with you. That new guy coming in to fight tonight. Forget his name. Yeah, I think he could be. I mean, he's great at jiu-jitsu. I mean,
20-1
for yeah. I mean, if he can figure out the big stage, he seems a little nervous and whatnot, but that might not be for the fight. Could just be all the cameras and whatnot. Yeah, I think he could be good.
I've been high.
Yeah, as far as I mean, I like Batista too, to be honest.
Yeah, Mario, he's a dog, and he's had a couple of good named fights too. He's actually 7-0 in his last 7 fights. So they're throwing him.
Really?
They're throwing him to the Wolves right away. His last loss was in 2021 against Jon Jones, but since then he's beat Benito Lopez, Ricky Simon and Jose Aldo, who, again, I know Jose's himself is aging, but he's gone through the ringer, and his only big loss to a named guy was Corey Sandhagen. That was back in 2019. That was 6 years ago. He was a completely different fighter back then than he is now. So, I don't know, Chris. Maybe I think you're more like me too. I've had a couple of people, Lewis, whose comments up on the thing right now, say that this card is ass. It's not looking as it's just a really bad card. I was like, I don't know if I'm just more invested into the sport and I just love UFC to where I pay attention to a lot of the guys that aren't heavily paid attention to. I'm like, the early prelim is meant for guys that are just getting on the card or younger fighters or, fillers. But the preliminary card has all but one fight I'm interested in. And I've got interest in all 5 main event fights. I think it's not a stack card, but it's a card that could be sneakily good because people are just acting like it's underwhelming. I think it was built good, but I'm with Will. UFC is lacking a star, so it's hard to put on banger pay-per-views after banger pay-per-views. It's hard. So it's hard to try to sell this fight to people other than saying, hey, O'Malley's on the card. People are going to want to watch that, which is true.
Also, I'm not going to lie. These cards with a lot of guys that we don't really know or that aren't not necessarily not know, but they're not big names, that the card looks whack. Those are usually the best UFC cards. It's the ones that are star-studded that are usually trash, honestly.
100%. That's why 300 was whack, right?
Awful. 300 was no good. Just boring.
And then it was either 299 or 301 that we were like, that should have been UFC 300.
Because it hit. Gastelum shouldn't be a pay-per-view fighter anymore. I mean, he's a name. That's just how it works.
And he's also going against an up-and-comer in Joe Pyfer, who is on an absolute roll right now.
He's a powerful dude.
Not a good one. Yeah, he is. But he's a gatekeeper. Not a great one, but he's a gatekeeper.
I don't know. Gastelum's he's hung in there for a while, he might not be necessarily a star or hasn't been consistent, but he's been in there for a long time fighting with the best of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is with Gastelum too, is that Gastelum's not necessarily old. I thought he was a lot older than he was. He's only 33. That's prime age for most UFC fighters. But his biggest issue is that he's 3-6 in his last 9 fights. He is coming off a win. And he had a tough fight against Sean Brady. And he beat Chris Curtis. I'm kind of with Lewis. He shouldn't be a main event fighter. When I look at the preliminary card, again, I'm just a big fan of Joshua Van. I think Joshua Van and Bruno Da Silva could have been on the main card instead of Gastelum. But I don't make the card.
Yeah, I mean, just coming back into this, though, I'm kind of excited looking at these guys. Maybe they don't have star power, but I looked at, the highlights, especially, and watched some of the fights of all these guys, and they all look like killers. They all look good to me. I mean, Batista seems very well-rounded. Patchy looks like a great jiu-jitsu guy. You know what I mean? Pyfer is knocking people out left and right from what it looks like, I'm excited.
Joe Pyfer guy. I cannot wait for him. And he's on a rise. Even
Vicente, LeCue, and Holland, those guys seem like killers. I mean, that's definitely going to be a knockout, I would say.
Kevin Holland is one of Will's guys.
One of my favorite, but he just doesn't love the sport as much as he needs to. I think he loves the cameras because he's always talking, always running his mouth, having a good old time. But he needs to take the sport itself more serious. He could have been a superstar, honestly. But now he's just – because he had the makeup of, the personality and all. And he had unreal talent in the octagon. But he just – I don't know if he has ADHD. He can't stay focused or something. But he seems to – maybe he gets disinterested or he doesn't take it serious enough. But once he's in the ring, he's a dangerous fighter, but I think he holds himself back. I haven't seen him lose one where I was like, Yeah, he had no chance of winning that fight. Like if he had locked in, I think he could have won all them fights. But yeah, 2-4 is awful. You can't. That's just straight out not doing what you need to be doing.
Was he the one saying kind of weird stuff at the weigh-ins and whatnot?
He's always saying something weird, man. He's insane. The Washington Wizards of the UFC. Wizards never won anything. That doesn't really add up. But yeah. All right. So he said he wanted Colby. Yeah, he's been wanting that fight for a while because they both run their mouth. They'll talk a good one.
That was the greatest line that I heard because I was listening to the press conference. Someone asked him, they were like, "So if you get by Vicente, you're obviously wanting to go after the title and fight someone in the top 5. Is that what you want to do?" He was like, "I never said none of that. After this fight, when I'm done with him, I want to go against the worst guy at 170. I don't care who it is. Probably Colby Covington." I laughed.
Yeah, take the shots. I love it.
It was an insane line that I wasn't even expecting, and then he said Colby. I'm like, oh, that was smart.
Yeah, they talk a good one. All right, but that's all card talk. We'll get back to that later.
Hey, you get out of there.
Next up, we got BJ Penn arrested again. This guy's clearly having a mental breakdown. He thinks his entire family has been murdered and replaced. He's put his hand on his mother, I think, more than once now. Yeah, he's suffering from. They say, I believe my son is suffering from Capgras delusional syndrome, a psychiatric disorder in which a person holds a delusion that a friend, spouse, parent, other close family member has been replaced by an identical imposter. That's what his mother said, Lorraine Shin. He believes I'm an imposter who killed his family to gain control of the family assets. I mean, that's schizophrenia. Mental health is a serious issue, and clearly BJ Penn is going through something that he needs help with. But this is getting out of hand, man. It's like the third time he's been arrested for basically the same thing. So.
Yeah, he needs help.
Yeah, he does need help, for sure. Jake, what are you thinking about this?
I'm thinking that he's definitely got some serious mental issues. He needs some help, but the problem is if he thinks his family are all imposters and he doesn't trust his mother, how's he ever going to get help? No one's going to reach out, and we've already seen that the world's not as compassionate as we hope we do, so any past friends aren't going to help him. And who's to say anyone would who would even think that he would believe them if someone went out over and tried to get him the help? He'd probably turn them away. So it's sad.
I wonder if there's drugs involved.
Maybe. But yeah, no,
drugs can make it worse.
It's just really sad because BJ Penn this is like the biggest fall from grace that we've seen, because BJ Penn was someone that brought this sport to what it is today. And I mean, BJ Penn's on a lot of people's Mount Rushmores. I mean,
as he should be. He was one of the most dominant guys in the UFC all time.
Yeah, it's rough, and I hope someone can figure out how to make it better because this isn't good.
Yeah, I hope he gets healthy, man. That's crazy.
He's definitely my favorite fighter. I'd say best fighter of all time, really, pound for pound. You know what I mean? And
I mean, yeah, he's up there. Him,
big fan.
Pound for pound is like him. Mighty Mouse is up there. You got a few guys, but like some of the smaller guys have had such crazy runs, and he was definitely one of them. He had man, when he was in his prime, bro, nobody wanted to fight him.
Yeah, I saw him fight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hear me screaming during the fight. But yeah, he just needs help. You know what I mean? I don't know that, it'll be a forever thing if somebody can convince him to get help.
Yeah, I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure Jake knows. I don't know how much basketball you watch, but this feels like Delonte West. which was also a pretty tragic situation in terms of just going off the rails. They found him homeless with drug problems, but he wasn't actually hurting anybody. BJ Penn's getting violent with family members. And when you don't believe your mother is your mother, that is pretty dark.
He's an aggressive guy, you know what I mean? So if he has delusions like that, you know.
Yeah, that's good. It's gonna
he's
get
already aggressive.
And then if he gets in trouble, like if he gets arrested, like and has to stay in jail, I assure you, there's no help for him in there.
Right.
It will not be a place where he gets healthier. I tell you, he'd be safe though. He will ball their asses in there.
That was my thought, though. They need to stop arresting him and get him help, you know?
Yeah.
Throw him in a psych ward.
Psych ward don't really help anybody. That's just the place to put you because we got nowhere else to put you. Doesn't really help people. He needs significant help, but he has to accept the help. He has to be willing, which is typically the hardest part. But this story is sad. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but I don't know. If you pray for DJ and his family.
Prayers up to a goat.
Yeah. You hate to see him be taken out of society, and because like the UFC guys, after their careers are over, they still have so much to give in coaching. I'm sure he has his own gym. All the great ones get a gym. So
he's a
gym and that.
He's a superstar in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Right.
His own gym, plus
those Hawaii guys love to
Hawaii.
Fight. They really do love to fight.
And they
got a pretty cool fight culture.
They're super. They stick to their guys too. Max Holloway is a god in Hawaii,
as he should be. All right, next we got Jon Jones, retired? Question mark. Or should he be stripped of the belt?
So there's a little funny thing behind this. I had been watching DC and Chael on ESPN. They had their little broadcast, and they had Tom Aspinall on as a guest. And they were like, so what do you think about this fight happening, or when do you think it's going to happen, or do you think it's going to happen? And Aspinall basically went off on a little promo and said, no, Jon Jones is retired, and I wish him well. I hope he does good. He had an outstanding career. I am the undisputed champion, and I'm ready for all comers. This division's been held up for too long, and we're ready to get rolling again. And there's a lot of guys that are contenders that want a chance at the belt, and I'm ready to defend it to any and all comers. And Chael Sonnen just laughed his ass off about it. And was like, that was the greatest promo I've ever seen cut ever. But during the press conference, someone asked John Anik, because he's a guy with power, right? John Anik's got all the power. He's just a commentator. Someone asked, do you think Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is going to happen? And if you do, when do you think it's going to happen? And John Anik was like, you think I got power? This is no insight, but I hope we can see it by December. That'll be the headline at the end of the year. But Jon Jones also came out and told Chael Sonnen and DC, I smoked both of you guys back in the day. I don't even want to hear you two talk shit.
Also fair.
But he's not talking to Tom Aspinall at all. He's ducking. Be honest, he's ducking.
Yeah, he's ducking. But he doesn't have to fight the guy.
I mean, what are people thinking that he's ducking for? You know what I mean? Like, is he scared of the fight, or does he not want to go out on a loss?
With me personally, I think he's scared.
Yeah, he's not scared. I think he knows there's a possibility to lose. And I think he looks at how this always happens with great fighters. Late in their career, when they're no longer in their prime, but still great, there's always a young up-and-comer who's really good who wants that fight. And when you lose that fight, suddenly your whole career is tainted. Suddenly you're not the guy anymore. Like, yeah, he just lost the fight towards the end of his career. If we didn't judge it the way we do, he probably would have took this fight already. But the way things get judged, I don't blame him. But he should fight him.
Also, to go along with that set of news and everything is, hold on, excuse me. Francis Ngannou has made an announcement that he is open to coming back The PLF obviously isn't making enough money, and they're hardly even putting on events. They're putting on an event like once every 6 months, it seems. He said that he's open for a comeback. He wants to come back to UFC. Maybe that's what Jon Jones is waiting for, because it's a bigger money fight
between his legs.
Man, he ain't making no money.
Yeah, that's what Dana told you when you left. You ain't gonna make the bread.
And maybe Dana was right. Dana said whoever bought Bellator, they were going to go under within a year. PFL hasn't been a thing in a year yet. They haven't been around for a year since buying that Bellator thing. They said whoever buys that is stupid and will go under within a year.
Good. Fold the league and just let UFC assimilate their best fighters.
But you know what the problem is with that? If they take on these fighters, though, we're already complaining about too many events. If you get a bolstered roster, you're going to have to put on more events.
No,
that's a problem.
No, not necessarily. We're complaining about too many events because they don't have enough fighters to make them all good. But now, with a league of other good fighters coming in, then you just you do the same amount of events, but now every card should have
people you want to see.
Right.
I dig.
But
hey, Chris, real quick, just so you know, we're getting just a slight echo from your mic. If you turn it down a little bit, it'll probably go away. Or if you mute and then come back when you talk, it should fix that problem quickly. Yeah, perfect. And then whenever you're ready to come up and say something, just unmute yourself and you're good to go.
Gotcha.
All righty. Did you have anything else you wanted to say on the Jon Jones thing, though, Chris?
Well, I mean, do you guys think he should be stripped?
Yeah.
I'll let you go first, Will.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, if you're not going to look, you got to fight. If you're the champ, you got to fight. And the fact that he's not fighting, like, you're avoiding a main guy. So shut up, Fred. Yeah, Chris, get it together. He's a maniac.
Yeah, don't listen to him. He's our personal troll.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you gotta either force his hand to fight or strip him of the belt. Why not? But I don't think the belt should just go like if you strip him of the belt, then you gotta have a fight. Like two other guys fight for that belt. And who you got? So Aspinall and then who?
I'm glad you asked. I have that up right now. Volkov for sure. Dana owes him.
Why do you think Dana owes him?
Give me 1 second. I forgot who he just recently fought. It was a bullshit decision, and Dana even told him, I don't even know how. Oh, it was against Gon. He dominated Gon.
Oh, yeah, that Gon fight. Yeah. He beat Gon.
Yeah, he dominated him for rounds, and they said Cyril Gane won the fight. Dana went over to him and said, I don't know what the hell just happened. It was blatantly obvious that you won that fight. We'll make this right. Don't worry about it. Aspinall versus Volkov. It makes sense.
All right.
And the thing is, to go along with that is that, strip Jon Jones. Let Francis come back, and they can have their final hurrah off to the sunset fight. Tom Aspinall's still interim champion. And when he fights Volkov, you have the interim champion versus the contender. Whoever wins is the undisputed.
Works for me.
I just think somebody else should get a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
I mean, when was the last time Jon Jones fought?
Not recent enough.
Let's see. I'm going to get an exact date for you.
I mean, wasn't McGregor stripped for taking too long also? Remembering that wrong?
I think so. That's a good question, though. Lewis, you're in the chat. Do you remember that?
Jon Jones fought Stipe Miocic on November 16th, 2024.
24. So technically under a year. But that's still a long. I mean, I guess that's not crazy long for a champion. But he should be fighting right around now. And if you're avoiding that
six,
fight,
6 months off. That makes sense for a fight. Gives you 2 months to
he
heal.
should be in a camp already fighting.
Yes.
Ready to fight. All right, well, it's a couple good little topics. We're gonna go on a quick little break, and then we will be back to break down UFC 316. The Stone Cold session. Yeah. All right, we'll be back. Don't go to
Where the hose at?
This is Sheriff Cooter Wilmot of the Boudreaux Parish Sheriff Gas Station Beer Bait Barbecue Barbershop Laundromat Department. Remember our motto in Boudreaux Parish: we will find you and we will tase you. Hose water. Whether you've been playing hard or working hard, when your thirst needs to be quenched, there's hose water. Found at any retailer where sports drinks are sold. Or connected to your faucet in the backyard if you don't want to pay $4 for it. Hose water. Get yours today.
Oof, that early AI face work is nasty work. Nasty work. All right.
Sheriff Cooter. That one still gets me every time.
Yeah. So we are going to pull this card up.
We the early prelim isn't anything to write home to mom about, so we are going to go ahead and start with the preliminary cards for you.
All right, we could just see this is some of your early prelim. Oh, this is live right now. We made you guys late.
We are sorry, but we are talking through the fights that are not even worthable. Actually, that's just the first fight going on anyway.
Yeah. And I now have it on.
Lucky. We have the return of one Chaos Williams.
Is his name really Chaos? He's a psychopath for that. His family.
Is it? No, his real name's Kellen, but he goes by Chaos.
Oh, I go by Chaos too. If my name was Kellen as a black man, holy shit, that's bad. Kellen, Jesus.
He's 2-1 in his last 3 fights. He is coming off of a loss, unfortunately, second round technical submission. He is. I just had it up and I lost it. He is a BJJ specialist. The guy he's fighting against must be a new guy, Andres Gustafsson. I haven't seen much work from him. I don't even know if he was in the UFC prior to this fight. Chaos Williams is kind of a gatekeeper. But looking forward to that fight because I feel like Chaos Williams always puts on good shows for us.
Jeez.
Do they got any words on Gustafsson about his recent fights or anything?
Nah, they got nothing on the last fight, so I think this might be his first fight in the UFC. He's 11-2 career as a professional, but the last fight is not listed here, I'm assuming because he wasn't in the UFC yet.
He is Swedish.
Yeah. I was going to say this too. You could tell, like, Chaos's reach is crazy. 77 inches. Look at his arms. They're almost to his knees.
Yeah, that's a little insane. Good thing he's a BJJ guy. That means he can get those wicked knees off. Oh, that's Muay Thai. That's Muay Thai. My bad. I'm still learning some of the fight things. That's what Chris has been helping me with, determining what styles are what styles if I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Next fights in the heavyweight division, we have number 7 going against number 11, Sergey Spivak versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Your mic's going crazy. Or your mouse.
Who, mine?
Yeah, your mouse.
Yeah, the mouse. Yeah, the mouse is mine out. Yeah.
Let's see here. What we got on Sergey? Sergey is 1-2 in his last 3 fights. He's lost to Cyril Gane. He beat Marcin Tabora, but he also lost to Jaltin Almeida. Jaltin Almeida is also known as a ground type guy, but he was able to knock him out. So Spivak really needs this, but this could also be a stepping stone fight for Acosta because I've been saying for a while, but no one believes me. The heavyweight division is up and coming. They've got guys coming up from behind. That sounded weird. They have guys coming up in the division, but the whole division's held up currently.
Yo, this guy just got his leg kicked into submission, I think. That's wild.
Yeah, this is a couple of big boys here. What they weigh in at, both in the 160 mark.
260. Waldo has the 5-pound weight advantage, while Civic has an 8-inch reach advantage. I hope they throw bombs. That'll be fun to watch.
It will be. This is the heavyweight
by
division.
The way, yeah. By the way, when the heavyweight division finally maybe does something, you're gonna thump your chest, and you're not gonna realize that you've been saying that for 3 or 4 years. And if it happens in a total of 5 years from when you first said it, that's not really.
Well, that's how long this division's been held up, because we were held up with 3 straight fights of DC versus Miocic, and then Ngannou held the belt for God knows how long without fighting after winning it. And then Jon Jones steps in, takes it, and only has fought in twice. Come on, now. It's held up.
No, but the division being great has nothing to do with who's champion. It has to do with how good it is. If they were good guys, they would have been fighting. They're just not a lot of good guys in the division, as our friend Mike has told you.
Mike's just a hater. I don't want to hear it. The next fight, I know nothing about this fight. This is the one fight that I was telling you about that I had no hands in the jar. I don't know anything about Asmat Murzakanov and Brandon Ribeiro.
Brenson Ribeiro.
Thank you. I looked at it. I'm going blind. Give me a break.
I didn't say anything. I just helped you.
I need glasses. Well, I appreciate your assist.
Heavy favorite here is Asmat.
Because he looks like fresh into the rankings in light heavyweight.
Yeah, he's a minus 650. Plus 470 for Brenton. Might be worthy putting some money on.
Maybe. Hey, listen, people. We got a new segment coming. I hope you guys are waiting for it.
Absolutely. We can. I don't want to dive too much into this fight, but we can look at their measurables right quick. My mouse stops being an idiot. They both won their last fight. This is your fucking favorite thing to talk about. The height difference is crazy. 5 inches.
That's insane. That could be a problem unless he's a wrestler.
6'3" versus 5'10". He also has an 81-inch reach versus 71.5-inch reach. So this Brazilian man, he has the measurables, but we'll see how it goes down in the ring.
Bro, I'm taking Brendan in this one if I have to take a guy, because that reach and that size difference makes this impossible for this guy to wrestler. Makes it impossible for him to wrestle, because he's not going to be able to shoot with that reach. He'll push him right down.
Maybe.
It's like
you always say you always say this, but then guys like Holland has a crazy reach, gets taken down by everybody. So it doesn't really matter. It's all technique.
He's not a wrestler. All Brazilians have some kind of idea of how to protect the wrestling. Why do you think he could never take down Anderson Silva? He hardly ever got taken down until his later years.
That's not a good comparison. He's arguably one of the greatest to ever do it. Yeah, of course you couldn't take him down. That's part of what made him great. Not everybody's like that, though. Who's Brazilian? You basically named their best fighter ever from there, and you're like, yeah, guys couldn't take him down. Yeah, no shit.
Okay, fine. You know, you couldn't take down Debson Figueiredo.
Are you gonna do you want to go Nunez next?
Figueiredo wasn't better, because that's probably like their best flyweight ever too.
You just keep naming their goats.
Pantoja is probably the best flyweight Brazilian ever. All right, next one we have. I got a favorite of the show, Joshua Van versus Adrian De Silva. Oh, wow, I looked wrong. My bad. Bruno De Silva.
Van might be the biggest favorite on this card, if I remember correctly. He's minus 750. That's
Joshua Van is 13-2. He's coming off 3 straight wins, and in his last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 6-1 in his last 7 fights. The guy, he's unstoppable at the moment. He's doing really good. When did we discover him? 295 is when we all started following Joshua Van pretty hard because he came in short notice and did really good for a short notice fight.
Yeah. He lost that, didn't he?
No, he won it. He lost to Charles Johnson by KO.
Oh, that's right. The KO. Damn.
At a fight night.
Measurable wise, these guys are almost twins. One's 5'4", the other one's 5'5", both 125, both 65-inch reach, and both 35-inch leg reach. So,
and Bruno Silva is coming off a loss to Manel Kape, who is currently trying to go after a title fight. So this is his rebound match, or this could propel Joshua Van into the rankings because I don't think he's ranked yet.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Van here.
Joshua Van's ranked 14th. Sorry about that.
What do they only put the top 12 if you're up there? Because I've seen some numbers, but they didn't put his up.
Yeah, apparently.
Weird.
But yeah, no, he will be. He's ranked 14th. If he wins, if I had to guess, the way UFC does their rankings, I would say if he can win, he'd be in the top 10. But they'll probably move him to like 11 or something after the win.
Chris, you got anything on this fight? Oh, he's muted. I thought I unmuted. Oh, he muted himself. You muted yourself, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't know much about this one.
That's why we watch. To learn about the
Yeah, I mean, their stats look pretty even, if you ask me.
Yeah, I hope they don't go to the mat. I always want to just see bombs. Just throw bombs. Stand in the middle of the ring. Throw bombs.
Joshua Van does like to throw a lot of leg kicks, so we'll see exactly
how
that
goes.
goes.
He's gonna leg kick him into oblivion. That's what he always. I feel like.
Is he more like a Thai fighter?
Yeah, that Thai boxing is real, bro. All right, next we got. Please don't go. Why does it keep going nuts?
It wants to go to the live fight. We are officially on to the main card. We've got Kevin Holland.
Both of my guys are on the same card. I'm hyped.
Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque. I also thought this was another guy that I thought was much older than he actually is. Vicente Luque is 33. I thought that he's been around the UFC for way too damn long. I thought he was like 37 by now. Luque is 23-10. He is 2-1 in his last fights. He's lost to Joaquin Buckley, who's currently on a tear. And Kevin Holland himself is on a little bit of a win streak, isn't he? Will? No, he's 1-2 he's 1-2.
Yeah, and 2-4 in his last 6. So
yeah, that's not good. But he also lost to an up-and-comer
advantage.
that's tearing it up with Desmond DeRitter, though.
Yeah, but he's established. You can't be losing to those guys. If you're Kevin Holland, you got to win that fight, and you got to win this one. What was that, Chris?
I like these guys. It seems like Vicente is kind of, just from watching the highlights and whatnot, he kind of pounces when he sees a time, and the other guy's just kind of generally powerful. I could see, a knockout coming from one of these guys.
Yeah, Holland has really good striking angles. Like he works angles really well. The problem is I don't know. It's almost like he talks himself into just being distracted. Now I know some guys like him that they gotta talk and keep something going on for them to stay focused. But I think it's gotten to a point where it distracts him.
Like he's trying to do it because that's what he does.
Yeah, and maybe he's just not that good, but he is like an extremely talented fighter still. But yeah, he's got to start winning some fights, or this is just all he's ever going to be.
But I do think that this is the kind of fight that you want Kevin Holland to be in because Vicente Luque will stand with him.
And that could be a problem.
Yeah, because Vicente Luque is very technical compared to a Kevin Holland or people that he's fought in the past.
Yeah.
Do either
Holland-
of them have
Holland is
submissions?
Holland can submit you.
Yeah,
I don't know about the other guy.
Holland did just put a lot of ground game into his tool belt, and I believe he did have a submission win not too long ago.
The problem with Holland's submissions is they usually come after someone takes him down.
He's very good off his
guys
back.
down, really. Yeah.
He's knocked someone out from his back before, actually.
Yeah, he put the Brazilian dude. What's his name?
Cowboy.
He knocked the shit out of him, just swinging back.
What was his name?
I forget his name, but
Alex Oliveira.
Was it Oliveira that he did that to? No.
Alex, not Charles.
No, it was. I'll know when I see him. It was a while back.
It was a while back. I'm telling you, it was Oliveira. Right there, him. It was him.
I saw him, but I don't think it's him. It was him. It was Souza.
Souza?
Yeah, he knocked out Souza from his back.
That doesn't happen too often.
After the dude was kind of hitting him while he was down there, he was all like commenting on it and shit. It was funny. He's a fool.
Jacare Souza.
Do you remember? Was it a punch or was it like an up kick?
No, it was a punch.
He was hammer fisting him.
Really?
No, well, Souza was on top, hammer fisting basically, and they kind of went into a little bit of a scramble. But then he just had one arm free, and he swung with his loose leg. He basically let his leg give him the leverage, and when he swung, he just fucking caught him, put him to sleep. It's actually dope. It was one of my favorite knockouts.
Lewis, you're going nuts in the comments, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't bring them up because I'm over here doing that. Yeah, it's been
And
5
now-
years.
And now oh, wait, my bad. No, wait, we're doing picks afterwards. We're not doing picks now. Sorry. Now for the fight that I'm really looking forward to, the debuted fight of Patchy Mix. I cannot wait. I watched his freaking Bellator career. I've been excited and hoping that some of the Bellator guys that I used to watch would get a chance and come up quickly to the UFC. And he was one of the guys, and I'm surprised didn't come over sooner. And now we finally got Patchy Mix coming over. He is 21-1. He is 7-0 in his last 7 fights. Again, these are Bellator fights. That's fine. But he's beat Sergio Pettis, Magomed Magadov twice, and there was someone else that I saw on this list that he had beat, but I can't find it. But Patchy Mix is a bantamweight, and the bantamweight division needs a lot of help right now. And I believe he's somebody that can get in there and do a lot of dirty work.
Oh, that was nice, Doc.
He's telling him it's nice.
I had a dream about this.
I've never seen,
You know what I mean?
I've never seen somebody talk like that
would
before.
hurt.
Like, even how Beat talking, he talks a lot lower than that. Kevin Holloway's almost screaming.
Right there.
Kicked that leg out and jumped him.
That was courtesy
Louise. Were you able to see that, Chris?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Will, what you got on Patchy?
Definitely has
Mix?
to be one of the
You know who he
first.
is.
First what?
So definitely has to be one of the first. I've never seen something like that.
Not yeah, the way he did that, yeah, I haven't either. Batista versus Patchy Mix. I'm going with Patchy because that name is amazing.
He stole Cody Garbrandt's nickname, Patchy No Love Mix.
Yeah, let's hope he's more worthy of it.
Shut up.
He's got really good jiu-jitsu though. Like it's if you love jiu-jitsu, I mean that's exciting, an exciting fighter to watch.
But man,
Doing like leg cranks and all kinds of.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
old
wow.
is Batista? He's like 40, right?
Mario's only
He's
31.
old. Wow. That man's aging like a leather shoe.
No, but I agree with Chris. This could sneakily be fight of the night because Mario Batista is 6-0 in his last, or my bad. No, 7-0 in his last 7 fights. And he's also 15-2, and Patchy's only 20-1. Like, this is sneakily. If Patchy wins, he's going to sneak into the top 5. If Mario Batista wins, he could possibly find himself in a bantamweight title fight against Merab.
Wait, Patchy sneaking into the top 5 in his debut fight?
It happened with Michael Chandler when he destroyed Dan Hooker.
They did Chandler. Yeah, I guess Chandler did have it, but Hooker wasn't Hooker ranked higher at the time.
He was ranked, but I don't think he was ranked in the top 5.
Well, he was ranked at least. Is Mario not even ranked?
No, Mario is ranked. I just don't know what. Give me a second, I'll find it.
It's probably like if he's in
10.
the top 20, I guess.
10.
He's ranked. Oh, he was ranked 10. You're right. He's 10. I guess that could help. I don't know if he's 5, but
I also think Patchy Mix is a lot better candidate from Bellator than Michael Chandler was because Michael Chandler was old. He's
old website messed up. You seeing this? Leg reach 0 inches. He can't. What is he got? What has he got? Nubs? What are we talking about here? That's funny.
I'm torn on this one though because I'm watching Batista's highlights and fights and whatnot, and he just seems like so well rounded. It's like every other fight is like knockout and submission. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like a pretty good fighter to me.
I don't know. It seems like Lewis has a fight back to that, saying the fight with him and Aldo was a snooze fest. But you got to understand, Aldo's a wily veteran. He should have won his last fight out, and he didn't. He got screwed by decision because those judges were morons. You got to be careful when you're going against older fighters like that because they're old doesn't mean that they can't fight. You got to be tacticians around them. Not everyone's Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz where they turn into slow senior citizens in the octagon.
He just held Aldo against the cage.
Did it go the full?
Oh, that's why I do remember that now. Yeah, Dana was pissed. Dana only gets mad at so many fights. I remember that one. That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mix here.
Hold on, we're not fight picking yet, but I like it though. Next fight is in the middleweight division. We got Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. I think this is going to be a round 1 knockout for Pyfer. That's not me picking a fight though. That's just me making a guess. Will, I haven't asked you this in a long time, and I like asking you about fighter or what you feel about fighters. What do you feel about Joe Pyfer? I know you've seen a couple of his fights.
He's got bricks for hands. I just love his striking power.
Harper K, I am doing a podcast. Don't shoot baskets in here while I'm on a podcast.
Always get the jump shots in. Always.
She's playing with a flat ball. I'm proud of her that she wants to get work in right now, but it's like I'm doing a podcast.
She gotta put the shots up, bro. Gotta put the shot. Can't be Caitlin Clark if you don't put the shots up.
That is true. I almost made it.
Your career's over already.
It was over in 8th grade when I stopped growing at 5'9".
Rough.
And again, the only fight that Joe Pyfer's lost in the last couple of years was against Jack Hermanson, who is a notable guy for hugging you in the corner. He was scared to fight Joe Pyfer, and he was scared to fight Chris Curtis because they have dynamite for hands, and all he did was hold him against the cage. Jack Hermanson is a hoe.
9 knockouts for Pyfer. Just absolute bricks for him, man.
Chris, you got anything on Joe Pyfer, Chris?
I feel like he could be an up and comer. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of the fights I watched were just highlights, but I mean, he's got heavy hands. You know what I'm saying? He seems exciting to watch.
Yeah, I'd agree. Also, I look, Gastelum could still fight, but he is mostly a gatekeeper at this point. And I don't think he's going to keep this.
Yeah, he's been around a while.
Yeah, I think he loses tonight. Who's favored? Oh, he's a plus 310 underdog. Is Gastelum? Yeah, he's losing this fight. All right, who we got next? We got Jake's favorite, Harrison.
Yeah, from good old Middletown, Ohio. I can't wait to see this. I think Juliana Pena is massively overrated. I think she got lucky against Amanda Nunes. And also she went against a scrub in Pennington and barely – or Pennington? Yeah, Pennington. And barely got by her. She talks so much shit thinking she's the greatest.
I'm hearing 2 wins. I'm hearing 2 wins and a bunch of excuses from you.
No, it's not excuses. She goes against scrubs and got lucky that she got the back. Because what did the very next fight? No. What happened the very next time she fought Amanda Nunes? She got fucking dominated and the biggest scar I've ever seen on a female fighter.
That's fine. She still beat her. Period.
She does not have the accolades that Kayla Harrison has. Kayla Harrison is an Olympian.
Wait, did Kayla beat Nunes, the GOAT? Okay, then.
That's probably going to be her next fight, though.
Is Nunes even still fighting? I thought she retired.
She's coming back.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
Last time she came back from all that, she lost to Pena.
Last time she came back, she won the belt back and retired.
I thought her first comeback. No, I thought when she first came back, that's the fight that she lost to Pena, didn't she?
I didn't even know she went away twice. I thought the first time she retired was the first time she retired.
I thought when she came back from retirement, she fought Pena, but I guess I could be wrong.
No, I didn't even know she left twice. If she left twice, you can correct me. I just didn't think so. I thought after she won the belt back from Pena, she had a fight with somebody and retired that fight, and Pena said, "You ducked me. You're ducking me. You don't want to fight me again, blah, blah, blah." And then she left and didn't come back. So if she comes back, this will be her first comeback. But what's the odds here, Will? I can't read them.
Kayla Harrison's a huge favorite. Plus 455 underdog is Pena, the champ.
I'm actually going to do something I never do. I'm going to shut the fuck up for a minute. Chris has done a lot of research on this fight and knows a lot about the both of them. I believe he told me that he met Kayla Harrison before.
He met that dude? Nice.
I hate you. Chris, go ahead and go off about this fight, dude. I know you got some stuff to say about it.
Well, no, I mean, I haven't met her. I just I watched a lot of judo back in the day. I used to do a little judo, and I mean, you can't not like Harrison. Both of them, to be honest with you, have a lot of Pena has a lot of trips and stuff I've seen in her fights. This is honestly one of the fights I'm most excited to see, just because I love seeing judo and MMA. But yeah, I mean, Harrison is just a beast, you know. Like, I don't know. What do you think about Harrison? Will?
Will's muted.
Oh,
I think her powers.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I hope. I just hope to see some good judo in this fight. To be honest with you, I mean, it was pretty crazy to me just watching Harrison. I watched some of her old judo fights, and she was kind of doing MMA back when she was doing judo. Somebody be trying to, crawl out of bounds, and she would deadlift them back into bounds. I mean, it was kind of she's a beast.
My bad, Chris. I know you said you met Dana White before, I think, not Kayla Harrison. That was a mistake. My bad.
Yeah, no.
By the way, this is the answer to that little back and forth. She did take time off before the Pena fight.
So she didn't retire. She took some time off because her wife gave birth.
Yes, I didn't care if it was a retirement or not. I knew she took time off because I knew she came back. That was the whole running narrative that's why she lost, because she was out before that.
Got you.
Get Harrison into the men's division with as much PEDs in her system, she would fit right in.
Awful. He's trying to find every reason to hate on this card. I don't even care. Yeah.
No,
didn't she come down?
No. He always said that about.
Didn't she come down in rank weight though?
Yeah,
Harrison?
she was supposed to be in the featherweight division at 145, and because the UFC doesn't have a featherweight division anymore. They only have a featherweight division if someone in the bantamweight division does not make weight. So this is for the bantamweight title because the featherweight division no longer has a division. Amanda Nunes held that title and had no one to fight against.
I'm
Once
curious to see
Cyborg-
how that weight cut will affect her strength and kind of how she just kind of goes beast mode, you know?
Well, she's had 2 other fights so far at bantamweight in the UFC, so she's already been doing this cut. She's got 2 straight wins under her belt, so she's doing okay. But and then the main event, Will gets to go off about this one because this is his guy. Sugar Sean versus Merab Dashvili, or however you say it.
This is make or break. It's the rematch. This is the return, the comeback, the get back. If he's going to be the superstar that Dana so desperately needs and wants him to be, he's got to win tonight. He has to win, period. Or if he loses, it has to be like a close decision, really close. I'm going to pick him to win because it's my guy. And I think he'll be able to. I always feel like in a rematch, the guy who lost has an advantage. He knows everything he did wrong. He knows exactly how to plan for that now. Whereas the winner, sure, you can work on things that maybe you didn't do well within that fight, but ultimately, you're going to come with most of the same game plan, typically, because you won. Why would you change? Yeah, so I think that is advantage him. He's an underdog, though. Plus 260 underdog is my guy. So he has the leg reach advantage. He has the reach advantage. He weighs 1 pound more, and he's 5 inches taller than this guy. Their records are 19-4 versus 18-2. O'Malley's 2 losses, 1 are to him, and 1 is when he broke his leg. So
that was so unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a fucking string bean, though. You got to eat.
Dude, stop that. Dude, stop.
But yeah, I got O'Malley. I got O'Malley by knockout. 4th round.
I feel like he stuffed some of those takedown attempts, but some of them it seemed like he had no idea it was coming, you know?
Yeah.
If he kind of watches out for that constantly.
Yeah, and knowing this is the rematch that was coming, his entire camp should have just been like wrestling and grappling and keeping yourself upright. That's what it should, the whole thing. Yep.
He's a lot taller than him, too. You know what I mean? That his center of gravity is a lot higher than him. So if he gets in, I mean, he's going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the dedication from Sean in this camp, though. Cut off social media, worked on takedown defense. Yep. He also started smoking weed.
He did, indeed.
He injured his strong hands. Oh, yeah, that is true. He did injure his strong.
He also said that
featuring 2 Mexican fighters.
He also said that he didn't want to. What was it? There was something behind it, and I forgot what it was. I forgot. Never mind. Oh, he said that he was he didn't want to make excuses, but he had something going on in his in the previous fight that they had. He said now he's completely healthy. He's got everything rehab. He's 100%. Weight cut was easy, so we'll see how it goes for him. Huh.
He didn't want to fake like he hated Merab. Huh.
All right. Now we are going to the fun part. Let's just go ahead and pick main card fights. What do you think?
Yeah, it works.
All right. We lost Chris. I don't know where he went.
He'll be back, hopefully. All right, so main card. Let me slide back down to do. Let me close this. Oh, come on. Can you stop? Can you stop, please? Main card starts right here, right? Kevin Holland's in the first fight in the main card.
Correct.
I'm going Kevin Holland here.
I'm going Vicente Luque. I already sent Lewis my pick, so if I change up my picks, he's going to say, "What the hell, Jake?"
Yeah, be sure to call him if you fucking bullshit. All right. I'm writing mine down. All right, Holland. Then we got Mixie versus Batista. Yes, I called him Mixie on purpose.
I got Patchy.
Yeah, me as well. Yep. All right, Patchy. Any kind of predictions on it? No, just straight up fights.
Not just straight up fights. If I feel comfortable enough saying how I think they're going to win, that's how I'm going to go. And I do think Joe Pyfer by KO.
Yeah, same. Let me get bro back in here. There we go.
I would say it's going to be violent.
Yeah, go ahead and go back to the bottom so Chris can make his picks.
All right, we're starting right here. Who you got in this one?
I'm torn, to be honest with you. I think if it goes on for a little while, I would say Vicente. But I would say just from what I've seen of Holland, he could knock him out. You know, I'll say Vicente.
Yes, 2 for Vicente. 1 from a man Holland. It's me. How about this one? Batista mix.
I'm gonna go with Batista.
Nice.
That's another one though where I'm like that could go either way. You know, I'm kind of 50-50 on that, to be honest with you. But I think he has more experience. You know what I mean? And he also has good jiu-jitsu, so he knows what not to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My money would be on him, I guess.
I picked Mix in this one. I think so did Jake. So that's gonna be fun to watch. All right, then we got Gastelum versus Pyfer.
And I said Pyfer by KO.
And I agreed.
I'd say the same thing.
All right, sounds good. And then we got Pena versus Harrison title fight.
I've got Kayla Harrison by sub.
I'd say Kayla Harrison by submission. That's what I want to see anyway.
Giggity.
Or ground and pound.
I'm going to have fun with this. I'm taking Kayla Harrison by body slam knockout.
Oh, I like how you do this.
That'd be nice.
Making it interesting.
She's going to bench press this bitch.
Will, if you keep talking shit about Kayla Harrison, we're going to have a big old problem.
It's a dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a woman.
I do think she juiced, though.
It is Pride Month, Lewis. Go ahead and say
it. She did that before, didn't she? She picked somebody up and just slammed them.
Yeah, she's
Harrison.
Strong.
Yeah,
she's too strong.
Beast.
And then we got the main event: Merab versus O'Malley.
I'm taking Merab by TKO on the ground.
I'm going Sean O'Malley KO. He's gonna get him. He's gonna keep it upright as long as he can, and he's gonna catch him.
Yeah, I'd say Sean O'Malley. I feel like he started finding a little bit of a groove and things that hurt him towards the end of the last fight. So I'd say O'Malley.
All right, they're locked in.
Those are our fighter picks, and now we've got a new segment for you guys on the Tap Out for all our loyal patrons. Jake and Will make a little parlay. I'm going to let Will figure out what his parlay is, but I already kind of got a couple fights highlighted. I'm going to just give you a 3 parlay. I want to go Joshua Van, and I'd say over 2.5 rounds. I think it's going to take all 3 fights, or all 3 rounds. Next, I got Joe Pyfer under 2.5 rounds. And then Kayla Harrison over 3.5 rounds. That is my parlay for you guys if anyone wants to take that. Will, if you want to take it.
Your parlay sucks, man. You're not gonna make anybody any money with that parlay. It's all favorites.
No, that's why I say over-under with the rounds. What you mean? What do you want me to do?
All right. I want you to do what I'm about to do. Have some fun. All right, I'm going to go Mario Batista, that plus 150. I like it, even though I picked Holland, but we're just going to have fun with this parlay. Then I think, not because I picked him, because I've already picked against myself in this parlay. Sean O'Malley, because of that plus 260. This is the plus 260 of a guy who could definitely win this fight. He's a one-shot, drop guy. At any given moment, he can win this fight if
he did it to Aljo.
Up at all. Right. So with that said, yeah. So that's 2 pluses. Now take a favorite, and I'll add Joe Piper to mine as well. So my parlay, three fight parlay is take Batista, Piper, and O'Malley. And if it's not enough for you, you can add in whoever you think will win the Holland fight.
I am interested in something. I want to see the one that I sent Lewis earlier. I want to see if I'd make any money off of that. And last but not least, friend of the show.
Yes.
One of the guys that I've worked with in the past. He's really hunkered down, done his thing, and he's finally made it to the big time. I want to congratulate Dalton Goins. He's making his LFA debut in, I believe it's Louisville, Kentucky, against Robles. As Will says all the time, you don't deserve anything, you earn everything, and you've earned this opportunity, and it's time to make the most of it, and I know you will. Bantamweight, it is next Saturday. I have a link if anyone wants to help support Dalton. If he gets 26 tickets sold, he gets a commission for it. I've got a link that YouTube will not let me post, unfortunately. If you're anywhere in the tri-state area, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, hell, even Tennessee, because I know that's where most of his fight camps are. I believe it's Tennessee. I think it is. Reach out. I'll give you the link. Go there. Tickets are as low as $38 right now. Dalton's the man. Love you, brother. And I'm beyond proud of you, and everyone in the show is. We're going to have you in for an interview after this fight if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you. And go kick ass, brother. Proud of you.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Dalton, man. He was a great interview when we had him in. He stayed for the whole show. He did the whole thing. Yep. So shout out to that man. And I look forward to hearing the results of that fight. Is that fight going to be able to be viewed anywhere?
Yeah, it should be on Fight Pass.
Okay, nice. I'll be sure to watch. See my guy get that win.
I'm going to be watching. I can't wait. Will that be your first time watching, or were you able to find a link for the last one?
I did not get the last one, no.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, we'll be able to see this one for sure. I will be watching. It's happening on a Friday. But his fight, I think he said he wouldn't be on until around 8:30 anyway. So I'll be able to get home, find it, and watch it. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I take exactly what Will says every time. You don't deserve shit in this world. You earn every bit of what you get and what you got, and you put in the hard work, and you're at where you're at because you put in hard work. So kill it, man. We're rooting for you at STWF.
Hell yeah.
And that brings us to an end of a tap out. Chris, I know this is your first time in the show. This was your debut. We appreciate it. We do shout outs. Shout out whoever you want. If you don't want to shout out shit, say fuck you guys. I don't care. It's whatever. It's up to you. Floor is yours.
I mean, shit. I just like to shout out the fighters. Let's have good fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Jake for putting together a nice little card of our own for this podcast. And shout out to Chris for joining us for the first time. First one's always a little scary. You don't know what to expect, but it's pretty simple. We make it easy. We have fun. We talk shit. And yeah, shout out to the people who watch. Shout out to Fwen in the chat doing his thing. Appreciate you, brother. And let's go watch these fights that we just talked about.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me on.
No
Absolutely. You're welcome.
More than
welcome
welcome
back.
anytime.
Anytime we do a tap out. And with that being
Sounds
said,
good.
it's... Nah, you don't get it.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.